The latest news coming out of Ethiopia now, because the transitional government in the Tigray region says it's more than willing to see a peaceful end to the conflict there. It says if peace is not on the table, then it can resort to other means. Tigrayan transitional leaders have accused the international community of not treating the crisis in Ethiopia with the same urgency that is seen elsewhere in the world. For more on this, we're joined by Professor Mammo Muchie. Professor Mammo Muchie, who is a chair of research in innovation studies at the Tshwane University of Technology. Prof, always good to have you on Newzroom Afrika. So, the strongly worded statement, this letter basically, from the Tigray transitional leaders to the United Nations, given the tone and some of what's said, does it mean that we could soon see that humanitarian ceasefire agreed recently at the beginning of this month come to an end?
I think I appreciate that you focus on this important problem. What I can say to you is that the situation in Ethiopia is still complex. The federal government did take steps to show that they want a peaceful relationship with the Tigray People's Liberation Front. They also have said, from their side, they keep saying that they are actually supporting also the humanitarian side. That's what we hear from them. And they even say they support, they even pay money and things like that. That's what they say. But from the Tigray People's Liberation Front side, what you just read to me is again a completely opposite statement. So exactly what is the truth is quite difficult to know. What I must tell you is this entire problem was created by the Tigray People's Liberation Front. When they started in 1968, their main enemy, they said, was the Amhara people. They called them the sworn enemy of the people of Tigray. And you know what happened now? There's a University of Gondar. Scientists did research. You know what they found out? They found that something like 59,000 Amharas were, they found them in the grave. They dug the grave and found out that they have been killed over the last 30 years. So they say that Amhara boys and men of the age of 13 were thrown into the holes. Yeah, all right? Either killing them with bullets or smoking them to death so that the bullets would not be wasted. Mm-hmm. And these mass graves have been now dug out by the scientists of the University of Gondar. And the fossilized remains of these men and boys were recovered. It's estimated this was the fate of 59,000 people. Can you imagine? And forcibly impregnating Amhara women, with one Tigrayan man to impregnate at least 5 Amhara women. And forced marriage, rape of Amhara women. And even changing the language to say that the people in the Amhara should not see. What they have done, to be honest with you, is very, very complicated. And they have been doing. And you know what? The United States now, the Congress, they have what they call HR 6600 and S3199. They are putting a law, a regulation, to create strong sanction against Ethiopia, to support them. So what I don't understand is why they are saying that they are not getting international support.
So Dr. Muchie, Professor, pardon me.
Yes.
Is that complexity which you've outlined, I mean, what you're referencing now, are historic crimes allegedly committed by the TPLF. Now we've had a period of intensified violence from about the end of 2020 to where we are now, and then there was this humanitarian ceasefire announced. The TPLF claims that only about 6% of humanitarian aid has now been allowed in. As you yourself were saying, it's quite difficult to verify truth, well, fact from fiction, from both the Ethiopian government and the TPLF. Are they right, though, to say that the international community has not fully committed to finding a solution, a peaceful solution, to the war?
This is, thank you for a very important question. Can I just tell you, the Amnesty International and the Human Rights Watch, all of them now support very strongly the TPLF. They are supporting them. So, and then, as I just told you, the United States Congress is also, they are now putting regulations to sanction Ethiopia. Now, to say that, for me to say now that the international community is not supporting them is very, very difficult to, is it true? I mean, what are they really saying? The key thing, a very, very important thing, is they started this war on November 4, 2020. They massacred in a place called Mayakadra. Again, Amharas. They massacred about 1,200 of them or so. That's what people now are saying. And then now there's also massacre taking place in a place called Afar, the Afar people. They are dying. Also in Amhara people, they are also allying with other forces like the Oromo Liberation Front, and they are killing people, Amhara people, in a place called Wallega, Benishangul, in all these areas. So the Amhara killing is continuing, trust me. More than what is happening in I know nobody should be killed. Nobody should be, really. No Tigray, no Amhara. We shouldn't be thinking like that. We should not be, this apartheid, ethnic apartheid system should not be imposed on in a country like Ethiopia, to be honest with you. They are the ones that created the system. Can you imagine? Why do we have a government, ethnic-based government in Tigray, ethnic-based government in all these other places? This is wrong. There should be an Ethiopian government. There should be a South African government. We don't need a vendor,
realistically, Prof,
yes,
pardon me.
We don't need that.
And as you say, there shouldn't, as you say, be an ethnic divide in any country ruled by ethnicity, right? But what are the chances that there can be long-lasting peace given those divisions and the fact that, as you were saying, both sides currently are being accused of an enormous amount of rights abuses, including the murders of civilians, the rapes of women?
Yes. No, thank you so much again. If we continue with this ethnic apartheid system, and the Constitution also endorses it, even the current government has not abandoned it. If it continues, we'll have no peace. Will be always war. It's dangerous. Conflict, always. We have to abolish this ethnic constitution. In South Africa, your preamble says one people, one nation. That's how we start, despite the fact they have differences. In Ethiopia, they say nations, nationalities, peoples. There is a division. That division has to end. If we don't end it, and if the Tigray People's Liberation Front, if they genuinely are interested in peace, they must apologize for creating a very crude system that the colonial powers used. They copied that. Trust me. This is what all the colonialists did. They divide and rule us by using our ethnic division. We must get out of that completely. For all of Africa, we need it. Not just for Ethiopia. In all of us, we must get out of this really tragic situation that Africa has been it has been imposed on Africa for so many years. So you are right. The peace process, the negotiation to end the conflict must, first and foremost, the necessary condition is to change the entire constitution, the whole ethnic system, to come and to respect the human rights, the social justice for all the people, and not to continue this, to say my ethnicity, my language is better, my religion is better. No. We shouldn't say that. Let's not be heartless by saying mine is better than yours. No, this is wrong. That is only, if they continue like this, they continue to say they want peace, but they cannot do it because their transitional government, their own government must be independent and they must be ethnically, ruling, and not joining all together, then I think the Tigray People's Liberation Front, this front, this TPLF, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, should genuinely be, to be honest with you, it is for the sake of the Tigrayan people also, not just for the rest of the Ethiopian people. They should also be really removed. Unless they are removed, they are going to create lots of problems, even for the people of Tigray. The people of Tigray should not be in this situation. There was no need to get this war. They created the war. They created this conflict. They created this ethnic system. And divide and it's dangerous.
Who then can help Ethiopia get to the point of peace and put all of this to rest once and for all? Are there countries that are possible honest brokers that can be trusted by both sides?
Again, a very interesting question you asked. Thank you so much. Again, look what I just told you earlier. Why is the United States Congress, all right, trying to put laws, all right? And why is Amnesty International, the Human Rights Watch, and all of them acting against imposing sanction on Ethiopia, things like that? Why? Where is Africa? Where is the African Union? Why can't we solve, we Africans, our own problem? I would prefer very strongly that this problem we have in Ethiopia should be an example by Africans saying, let's make it an African problem and we Africans must solve it. Even if we get it wrong, let's have the right to be wrong ourselves. Let's not get other countries like America and all these external actors to impose what they do. And the problem is the way they impose solutions creates more problems. Look at all the places where Americans and others have been involved. Yemen, Libya, all right, Syria, Afghanistan, all these places. There's always conflict. The conflict is not ending. So Ethiopia should not be in this really horrible situation now, where all these external actors are trying to solve the problems. That's why we need key actors here, even South Africa, all others. They should really be thinking, this Ethiopian problem, Ethiopia is a country that has been always supporting liberation struggles, including, South Africa. We all really genuinely in our hearts, we were put in sincerely speaking, we used to love you all the time because of the struggle that our own country also used to always do all the time for South Africa. Right. I really like all of us, all the African countries to also now focus on this and solve this problem and make the Tigray People's Liberation Front ethnic division that they imposed on Ethiopia, this horrible thing has to end, and they should also end, so for the sake of not just the Ethiopian people as a whole, but also even for the Tigrayan people, because there are even some Tigrayan people that some of the intellectuals that I really are not happy with them. That's what I just want to tell you. Thank you very much.
Professor Mammo Muchie, Chair of Research and Innovation Studies at the University of Tshwane, the Tshwane University of Technology, that is. Thank you for your time, sir.